Hey, this is another unboxing, all right, that I got today. This is Blokees, Transformers, Galaxy version, one shell for 08. I guess there's 8 versions of these, and these are pretty cool. A lot of these are based on Transformers G1, which I grew up on in the 80s. And I was just walking through the mall with my kids, and we went to Miniso. They have a lot of these stuff and other blind boxes and all these other novelties and snacks and whatnot from, I think, primarily Japan, but they could be from other places too. But anyways, if you know what I'm talking about, you've seen these stores at the mall. Anyways, this wasn't too bad. I didn't plan on getting this, but I saw it there, and for 12.99, what the heck, $13. I give it a try. I but they do a pretty good representation of these G1 Transformers, but they are stylized. They aren't like exactly like the ones that I grew up on. They're a bit super, well, not super deformed, but they're deformed because the heads or their limbs are a bit, bulkier and bigger than they should be in proportion. Like for instance, you can see here Blitzwing. I have a version of him right here, which is from, it's not Fan Toys. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but you can just see that this guy is much more in proportion to how he should look like in the cartoon. And as well as here is Shrapnel. I have a version of him somewhere in the back here, but he's kind of covered. But and if you know the Transformers, you'll know that these aren't exactly in proportion. But that's okay. They're still kind of fun to collect certain ones. So out of this group here, what I'm most interested in is Unicron's head. Yes, I think it actually looks pretty darn accurate to what you see in the Transformers movie. And what you have on the side here, it looks like it's the Autobot spaceship that they used to at the beginning of the movie when they left Cybertron to Earth, and then they were kind of attacked by the Decepticons on the way. I'm pretty sure this is the ship that got hit as they got commandeered by the Decepticons, and then that's how they snuck into the, I guess, the Autobot city or base on Earth, and they started making a massive attack through there. But they got spotted by, I believe, it's a Bumblebee or Hot Rod from Earth. They said, "Wait, why is there a hole in the side of the ship?" And they spotted Decepticon, and they kind of gave them a bit of a warning, so they had a chance to fight them when they got to Earth or to the Autobot base. Anyways, I think this one's pretty cool, and I do have this other blockies here of the Unicron and Planet. What was I? So yeah, so then I got this, and this is a pretty good representation, I think, of Unicron. It doesn't look actually all that deformed as like some of the characters. It's actually fairly well in proportion, and it's got nice details. I do plan on adding some panel lining on this to bring out some of the details and just make it look a little bit better. But anyways, I think this, if I can get this would be a great pairing. Otherwise, the other ones on here, I actually think the Sharticon is actually fairly in proportion because they are kind of stocky and kind of look like what they're shown here, but most of the other ones are not quite, but they're okay. I wouldn't mind Metroplex up here because he's generally he's the Autobot cities, or yeah, so then if you try to get him as an actual toy, he would be massive, and you can see I don't quite have that space even barely for these, but I'm trying to make do with it. And actually, it's pretty cool that they include Sludge here, both in robot and dinosaur mode. And we'll see. I just took my chances. Had a few boxes, and there's no way to cheat on these, as far as I can tell online. Basically, there's no things you can scan or codes on here that give it away. So you basically just take your chances, or you can buy them on like eBay, someplace that's already opened them, and you pay a premium for that, but at least you know exactly what you're going to get. But I took my chances. I was just waiting and hearing the sounds of the boxes. I figured because this character has like such large parts and not a lot of, like, I imagine not a lot of small details, maybe in the eyes, but compared to the other robots here, he should be fairly simple. Judging on that, I'm just hearing the sound and what's in here. I figured that might be possible compared to the other ones, which sounds like they had a lot more looser parts, smaller parts than they mean. It probably might be some of the other ones. So we'll see in a moment. But I think that's basically it. I will get to that in just a moment. So yeah, I figure it's worth it. Let's try it. If not, which one would I be happy with? I guess Metroplex. I guess any other ones would be fine. I hope it's. This is probably the one I don't want the least. I'm not really too crazy about Sharticons, and I have to tell you, I'm not the biggest fan of Hot Rod either. I mean, he's a very important character to the movie, but in general, I've never really liked his design that much. And then there's always Optimus, but I already have a pretty good Optimus right about here. Yeah, the 86 Studio 86 version. But you know, whatever. If he comes with it, he comes with it. Or if you can get the special one, which either he's half and half or he's the gray dead version of him, which we shall see. 1 out of 36, so he's fairly rare. Everything else is 1 out of 12. So actually, Optimus is actually one of the more rare ones. Everybody else looks like they're 1 out of 9. So you have a better chance of getting the rest of these. So I'll check these out in a moment. What, my kids are right behind me. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Yeah, so anyways, we'll check this out together soon. All right, so with the help of my lovely assistant here, my daughter, we're gonna open this up and see what we got. Can you see? I'm kind of doing this at an awkward angle. I hope this is the best way to open it, but whatever. I don't plan to keep the box anyways. It's not a big deal. It's just gonna be more bulk in my room. Can you see this okay? Okay, let's just move around if you need to. Let's see if my guesstimation of this is correct, or did I completely watch this one? But what's this? We'll open the small one. Okay, it's a stand. That probably. Oh, does this mean I got Unicron's head? Did you see it? It's in the. I guess I did a pretty good guess. I guess there should be a stand for it, even though it's just a head. And here's another part. We'll see. And I believe this is nothing. Are you? Hey, make sure you're framing me in there. And then this is just more of this. Back it up. Make sure you can frame it. All right. You just tell me if it's on the frame. Oh, yep, it is. Look, I got the instructions for it. See?
Yeah.
All right. I did a pretty good guess. This is actually the main one that I wanted anyways. So we'll just kind of unbox this here and carefully pour it out. If you need to widen the shot to get it, then just go down here. It might make it easier since we're this close. So here's the eyepieces, the green. If there's something else in here. All right. So you want me to build this in real time? So it's a nice. Well, let's just take a look at this real closely. It's a pretty nice collector's card. It has the holographic, or you know, the kind of iridescent finish around the edges. It's pretty decent card stock, and it just kind of tells Unicron's head. I don't know if it matters what the QR code is, but it probably doesn't. But anyways, and I guess his head is to stick his head on a spike later. So let's see. Actually, I'm going to forego the building process because I don't think I need it. I'm just going to build it and we'll just see it once it's done. So, we'll start. All right, so it's finally done, and you saw the time lapse. It came together pretty easily, which all these seems so far have done, and they have excellent detail as well as like the fitment of the parts are like perfect. Like I think I could squeeze some parts together a little bit better, but overall, you don't really see much seam lines, and where they do, yeah, that's the ship. Where they do come, you know. Meat, it's just really nicely done and doesn't really distract from the overall build, and it's kind of cool. Like, well, he doesn't eat this ship. I forget which ship he eats. I think that's towards the end. Yeah, but this, anyways, thanks. Well, let's talk about this real quick. This is like, again, I believe this is the Autobot ship that escaped Cyber. Well, they weren't escaping. They're supposed to be transporting some stuff to the Autobots on Earth, the base or the city rather, and then they get attacked by Megatron and boarded, and they used this to sneak in again to the base. They got found out at the very last minute, and then it was all out attack at that point, anyways. But the Autobots were slightly prepared for it, but not too good. It's a pretty bad battle. Obviously, it was a lot of people died even on board the ship. And we'll go to the build of Unicron again. So really nicely done. I forgot that this mouth could open, which is great though. As jaw moves with the beard, he's got some nice detail in the horns, which this is, you can see this is where his head would be hidden and protruding out from there, or something like that. And there's much more to the transformation, and he's got some nice clear green parts. And I think what's kind of neat is they actually built the inner skeleton to his face, and I don't know if I can. Let me see something for a second. Okay, so you just basically pull the parts off. It's just kind of cool that they even, yeah, there's a face, and then the side piece is here. But obviously they, okay, thanks. Yeah, but I just want to show, obviously they took the time to put the details into the face underneath right here, the sides here, and especially around here, and even the extra inner eyes, I guess, inside there, they actually made those in there. And they actually have ball joints behind there, so you can actually slightly move them around a bit if you wanted to. It's pretty much attached by a ball joint. So no, don't try to do it. I was going to keep it straight. But yeah, it's pretty neat that they were able to do that. The rest of this, I don't think there's anything underneath it that you can reveal to see much. It's pretty much hollow. So that's basically it. I don't think we ever see his face this blown open in the movie. It's part of it is pretty cracked and destroyed, but I don't think we get this involved to his face at the end of the movie. It's like his head's floating around Cybertron or something, because the rest of his body blew up. Let me put this back together for a second. Okay, so there we go. Too bad there's no display. Thanks. Too bad there's no display stand for. Let me back this up a little bit. Too bad there's no display stand for this guy to like kind of pose right here, but I guess it
goes inside his mouth.
No, he never eats this chip.
Yes, he does.
Okay, well, here, Sophia. All right, so we'll just leave this here for now. And overall, pretty good. $13, nicely detailed, easily to assemble, and it looks fairly authentic to what you see in the Transformers movie. And I think my gamble just to test like what I was feeling and hearing inside, there's probably not that many like small parts was likely to be this character, and it turned out to be true. So that's that. So
Happy 4th of July.
Getting interrupted. Anyway, so yeah, I would recommend this if you happen to come across Miniso
or any shop that sells these.
Yeah, there's some toy stores and
these.
Yeah, these Blokees. I mean, I think Walmart's been known to sell them, but
you never know.
I don't think the version that they have, at least the Walmart that I know of, visited recently, has this set that I really wanted. I think Miniso and some other places tend to get like, this could be a slightly older set. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it potentially could be, because they don't get the newest stuff as far as I can recall. I feel like they're like a couple seasons or versions behind of what's actually might be present in places that carry it more regularly, new, for example. But anyways, yeah, I think this is a pretty cool addition. I wouldn't mind getting, I don't know where I'd find it, that the version of Unicron with his whole body is transformed as the robot version. That would be the ultimate. Then I'll have this nice, head sculpt, the planet version right here, and then the robot. I could probably somebody selling one on eBay. That's how I found this one. I didn't have to take a guess. It wasn't too crazy expensive. I think it's around $20 or something like that, or roughly maybe a tad over. But wasn't too bad. So, and I knew exactly what I was going to get, so which is good. Although it's funny, I think the box was pretty well sealed when I got it, so I'm not sure how they figured that out, unless they just resealed it. Anyways, that's my quick unbox. Well, somewhat quick unboxing and review of this. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Later. Bye. Thanks.